You're live.
So I'm with Natalie. We've just done quite a good workout, 30 minutes intense, and now we're going to do a 10-minute stretch. You can attach this stretch to any exercise, but if you're feeling you've got time for more than a 2 or 3 minute stretch, and I really think stretching should always be at least 1/5 of your time you spent exercising. You know, it's not ever a 2-minute stretch. Really, stretch your body out afterwards because it will help. It helps build muscle, but also you feel better the next day.
Really aids muscle recovery and prevents aches and pains. Okay, so starting off lying down, what I want you to do...
Can I just I have to undo my hair because otherwise I'm so sweaty.
Yeah.
I've got to do Fashion Friday later and all the sweat will get caught up and I need to aerate my hair.
Aerate that hair.
So if you've had your hair up and you know you don't have time to wash it after the shower, just from a beauty vanity point of view, let your hair out, let the air get to it as you stretch.
Okay, great. That's another top tip from Trinny. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee.
Yeah.
Good, and then pull your left leg towards you. So if you put your hands through that triangle, pull the left leg towards you, and this is stretching out your glute medius and piriformis. And Trinny's worked that area really hard today, so she needs this stretch. Do you want the block under your head? Sure? Okay. And when you're stretching, you want to be taking in deep breaths, in through the nose. Try to breathe into the stomach a little bit so your shoulders aren't lifting too much, and that's going to help you relax. And when you exhale through the mouth, you can pull into a stretch a little more. And it's really important to allow your mind to relax, because the more you relaxed you are, the more your muscles are going to stretch out. Okay, and you can switch sides now.
When I'm doing this, I'm stretching out this leg when I pull up the other leg.
Yes, that's right.
I never knew when I was doing this in a class years ago which one I was actually meant to be stretching.
Okay, so if you're quite tight, it's probably quite difficult to differentiate, but you are stretching the glute medius. I'll show you an alternative stretch for this at the end as well, because if you are tight, this can be quite difficult to even pull that leg towards you. But actually, in terms of flexibility and mobility, you've come a long way in the last few months. Okay,
Tell me about the breathing again, because I think that's such an important thing. And I was with somebody yesterday, and I think he was just saying that my adrenal glands, she did some tests on them, they're really stressed.
Yeah.
So I'm taking an adrenal supplement, but just that when in the day can I get this time to really relax? So I think after exercise, that's why 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do Sanji's meditations again, just to have
Great.
that moment when my body is not under excitable stress, because my day yesterday was so exciting, but I was on the whole day. I went from one exciting meeting to another, but that in itself, I never think is stressful because I'm so excited by what's going on around me. And I used to associate stress with just feeling panic and financial worries. That's stress, but I never realised stress can be just.
Stress is excitement and just pushing. If you've got you've got an exciting business, and that is also stress. So you're releasing a lot of adrenaline. You're probably running on adrenaline most of the time. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to stretch out the hamstrings. I want you to lengthen your left leg on the ground, pick up your right leg again, and just take hold of the back of the back of the thigh, the hamstring.
With the stretch, do you think we should do this? Or
you just, because in case you don't have a band at home, I want you to inhale, bend the knee, and then exhale, extend the leg. And actually, stress management is so important to keep under control. A lot of people hold on to a lot of body fat, especially around the stomach, if you are very stressed and you're releasing a lot of cortisol. And breathing techniques are very, very powerful. So with the stretching, I think that's a nice time to focus on your breathing. So with this, you would take a deep breath in as you bend the knee. That's it, and then exhale, extend the leg. And actually, studies have shown that if you sit quietly and just take in deep breath, no stimulus, no music, no phone, and especially if you sit in nature, so around some greenery, your brain actually regenerates. That is when you really essentially recharge your batteries. So actually, no stimulus, just sitting in a quiet room, which is a lot, not even listening to nothing. So that most people in this day and age find that really hard to do.
I'll tell you though, when you say that, I think to myself, if I listen to
Lift your-
nothing, training my brain to think about nothing is really difficult.
But you
as
don't-
soon as my brain is empty, it would just go off and be very stimulating. But if I listen to meditation, I'm just slightly focusing on that, so I'm not then going somewhere else in my head, and I don't know if that's more relaxing for me, Natalie. Otherwise I'll just think, how am I going to develop that, what am I doing? You know, any moment I have where I'm sitting still, I want my slightly creative flow to come. I don't know.
Yeah, I 100% understand what you're saying, and this is something that I've really struggled with as well. But then somebody said to me that you're not supposed to switch. You just let those thoughts come to you, and don't stress. Think, oh, but I shouldn't be thinking. I need to think about nothing, and because you never will, never ever will. So it's allowing yourself to think about those thoughts.
Of them and letting them
just
travel.
exactly.
I remember that from a meditation.
Yeah. Okay, and now you're going to extend and hold that leg straight.
This in itself is meditation. It's just so nice after such a tough.
It is, and that's when you release your noradrenaline. So you have adrenaline, which gives you that pump, and then you've got noradrenaline, which relaxes
What's
you.
it called?
Noradrenaline.
I've never heard that name before.
Ah.
What's that? Okay. What is it? Is it another? Is it something you release, or is it the adrenals not being stressed? Is actually.
No, it's something you release. It's the adrenals releasing it. So you have adrenaline and noradrenaline, and so that helps to relax you.
So can we not get some noradrenaline that we can take, or is it my adrenaline?
You can't take noradrenaline.
Something that releases my noradrenaline, I wonder.
Yeah,
I have an adrenal supplements. I wonder if
there's actually somebody asking, what is your adrenal supplement?
It's called. It's from Life Force, which is Julia Hunter's range. It's on her site, and it's called Adrenal LF, I think. Adrenal Life Force, yeah.
And then you're going to bring it over. I want you to lift this left leg, right leg straight, and keep the left knee bent. So that's it. Bend this leg a little bit. Then you're going to bring it across the body, so you're actually lying like this. There we go. Now lengthen out your left arm on the ground.
Am I keeping my hip?
Yep. And I want you to look to your left.
I used to be able to get my arm down here.
You will be able to again. So I'm just going to push it down a little bit. I'm losing the tone on my arms in the bicep area. What can I do? The skin looks saggy. Build some muscle. That's what you want to do. You want to build some muscle, but also maybe address nutrition as well. Because if you have extra body fat, obviously it's going to cover your muscle, so you won't be able to see the definition. But if you build some muscle, that's going to make your skin look nice and taut.
I would also suggest for chicken skin, there's a fantastic body lotion called Amorolite that has alpha hydroxy acids in it, and also stimulation. So when I am putting on a body moisturizer, I'm doing this a lot to my skin. I'm slapping it to the blood flow, and I do a tiny microneedling with a body microneedler from Swiss Clinic, and then I put on the body cream. And I've got to say, I feel my arms are less chicken wingy.
There we go.
So that combination.
Will you be putting have you got this information anywhere, Trinny, that people can...
Actually, I've got Get Some Already as a blog post, which is, if you're on our mailing list, we send out a lot of films. So we sent one out this morning saying get Summer Body Ready. But it is actually on the blog, so go to trinnywoodall.com/teatime blog, and you'll see how I get my body summer ready.
There we go. Nice deep breaths again. Focus on that really deep breathing. Holding for another 3, 2, and 1. Back to the center.
It's so relaxing.
Good. You're going to give the knees a hug. Rock from side to side.
Are we going to do any inner thigh and bottom stuff?
Yes. Yeah, we can definitely do. So the most effective inner thigh stretch is called a frog stretch.
Okay.
And for that, I'll just show you here. You're going to kneel on your mat. Your shins need to be a bit wider, and then you're going to push the hips back.
And she's wearing green leggings.
I'm wearing green leggings.
Like
Yeah, but bring your shins further out. So bring your foot, that's it. And then you push your hips back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now with stretching, really important to note that it shouldn't ever feel very painful. Mm-hmm. You should feel like you're getting a nice release. If it's painful, you've gone too far, and you can actually cause a lot of damage. So don't push yourself too much in a stretch. Just stretch a little bit, hold it for 30 to 60 seconds. Do it regularly and you will really start to see the improvement in your flexibility.
I think even if you didn't feel you wanted to do cardio and you just did these stretches, you would feel much better.
You would absolutely feel much better.
Because when we've been lying every night inert for 8 hours and then get up, to have that interim in your body where you stretch it out just helps it prepare for the day so much better.
100%. Okay, you're going to hold for another 3, 2, and 1. Gradually bring those legs back together. Then you're going to come into your hip flexor stretch, okay? So you bring your left foot forwards, that's it. Tuck your hips in. And if you tuck your toe under like this, you're going to, good. Yeah, squeeze your right glute, reach your right arm up, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, lean over to your left, good. So this is stretching out the hip flexors. And if you, so you feel the hip flex, and actually your lats as well, so these big back muscles that run down here. And if they're very tight, you can get actually very bad lower back pain and hip pain. Holding for another 3, 2, and 1, back to the center. Okay, switch sides.
I think the other thing, Natalie, is how long you hold the stretch, because I think when people go to exercise classes, at the end, usually the teacher might have run over and they sort of rush, so they really make it a nod to stretching.
Yeah.
It's like if you hold for under a certain amount of time, it's like don't bother doing the stretch, isn't it? I mean, you need to do, well, not don't bother, but I just feel it's so
hand on the hip, so you're not nice and tall. So actually holding a stretch, you really need to be holding it for at least 30 seconds to make a difference, in fact longer, and be doing them. It's like training any muscle, you need to be doing them regularly. Ballerinas stretch hours every single day. That's why they're so flexible. And gymnasts, you have to train yourself. But it's from a functional perspective, it's important to have a good level of flexibility and mobility, because you're going to be less stiff, your body's going to have more give, and you'll be less prone to injury. Straighten your left arm, sorry. Just lean a little bit more, that's it, over to the right. And hold for another 3, 2, and 1, back to the center. Bring that right foot back, and what I want you to do is a cat dog stretch now.
So what my body was waiting for.
So that's it. So you're going to extend the back. It always feels good to get in a bit of extension. And then you're going to flex, lifting that upper mid back as much as you can. Trinny, your tights, your leggings are from Sweaty Betty, aren't they? Yeah. Now's the time to get all your sports gear. The sales are still on before the sales end.
It's a good thing because it's sort of like seasonless. In the sales, it's just so great to buy seasonless.
Oh, absolutely. Good. Shoulders right back. One more time. You're going to flex. And then come to neutral. Good. Walk your hands towards your feet. Come onto your feet. Hang for a couple of seconds. We're going to stretch out the lower back a little bit. I want you to bring your right arm over to the left, lifting the bicep next to the ear. So the arm is going to be lifted just a little high. And you're going to pull on this wrist with your left hand. So pull on your right wrist with your left hand. That's it. And then you're going to push the hip back. And this is going to get you a stretch through your QL, your quadratus lumborum, which is a muscle that often gets very tight in your lower back. Lift the arm a little higher. Good, and try and push this hip back a little bit. Keep pulling on that arm. Do you feel the stretch?
Yep.
Good. And then you're going to switch to the other side. Lifting that left arm, but keeping the hips as centered as possible. Good. And again, taking deep breaths. I want to hear you breathing. Good. And then back to the center. Heel toe your feet towards each other, and then you're going to cross one leg over the other. And then you're going to reach for the ground. This is going to give you an IT band stretch.
Yeah,
so down the side of the leg, and TFL.
You might be able to reach the floor. The only reason I can, it's not because I'm flexible, it's because I have very short legs and very long arms.
But even if you, don't worry if you can't reach the floor anyway, because that will increase the more you do these stretches. Now uncross the legs, and you're going to do the same on the other side. So that left leg, good. I find the main problem with this stretch is actually balance, being able to balance. Okay, you're going to hold for another 3, 2, and 1. Uncross the legs.
Can you hold that one so long?
Yeah, of course, you can hold it for a bit longer. Taking in those deep breaths. Any tips on how to stretch neck muscles? Yes, I'll show you in just a second. Yep. And then slowly roll up, shrug off those shoulders. Now a really good neck one is, Trinny, if you just sit on that bench.
Yeah.
I want you to sit on your right hand.
Yeah.
That's it. And now you're going to tilt your left ear to your left shoulder. Then you're going to look up a little bit. And then you can gently, very gently pull on your head. Just to deepen the stretch. If you bring your gaze up towards the top of the bookshelf here, that's it. And then try and keep this shoulder down. This is going to stretch out a muscle. I'm just going to show people if you don't mind. Yeah. So this is going to stretch out these muscles here, which is called the sternocleidomastoid muscles. They get really tight if you're looking down a lot and looking at your phone, or you've had an injury such as whiplash. Look up a little bit more. That's it. And then back to the center. Good, switch sides. Now it's a very gentle stretch, and it has to be really gentle.
Why do I keep my arm under, Natalie? Why don't I do this standing? Some people do this standing without their arm under.
Okay, so a physio told me to sit on my hand, and just because it helps to anchor you down, helps to pull you down. Okay. So you're getting a true stretch, whereas you would normally lift your shoulder a little bit.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So you want to lift the head a little more.
Good old Natalie. Learn something new every day.
There we go. Lift the head a little more. Good. And then back to the center. Now just really roll those shoulders back and bring them down. So you're really lengthening the shoulders away from the ears. Good. And then you can stand up. Set those shoulders back. And now you're feeling empowered for the rest of the day.
Empowered. Natalie, thank you so much. And if you want any of workouts, and they're all brilliant, we've done lots, then just go to, Natalie's got an Instagram, which we'll link to, and we link to, I think, on the blog, and we'll do a little post on Instagram too. Okay, all right, darling, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.